Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I've just popped on today to do a bit of a project share, and this is of a shabby chic, I suppose, shabby chic, vintage inspired wall hanging that I've done for the lovely Jane, excuse me, who's the Crafting Shed Davies here on YouTube. And myself and Jane decided to do a swap. So I decided to come on and do a little project share with you of my wall hanging, and also for a little butterfly, because Jane is holding a challenge as well at the moment, and she is looking for some butterflies to stick on the ceiling of her craft room, because as she said herself, all the walls are completely full, so she wants to now decorate the ceiling. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the wall hanging. So everybody knows the lovely Jane, and that she absolutely loves purple. As Jane would say in her own words, purplicious. This is the wall hanging that I have made for Jane. I hope you'll be able to see it. It's probably showing up as pink, probably maybe on the camera, but it's actually it's like a lavender. It's a very very light purple altogether, and yeah. So as you can see down the end, I've got the dangle trim. Then I have got a layer of another lace underneath, which is like a purple as well. So I don't know if I'll be able to show you. Can kind of see it there a small bit. And then I've got the dangle trim going along, and Jane actually sent me this dangle trim, and I just thought it was perfect for this project, and I still have loads left, so I'm going to enjoy using that on something else. And it's all little beads, tiny little seed beads, and then the bigger crystal beads at the end. I then made a handmade flower in the satin, and I put a little centre here in it that coordinates with this trim. And this trim here is it's got the ruffled little roses, it's got a pearl in each one, and it's almost like a leaf. A leaf applique, that's the best way to describe it. So the underneath the base is like a cream material, plain cream material, and it's all padded, so it's nice and soft for Jane. And if I move it a bit closer, you'll be able to see the image. I absolutely loved this image. I found it on the good old reliable Pinterest, and I printed it out on fabric, and I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I love the way that she's looking so poignant, and she has a bunch of flowers in her hand. As you can see there, she's a lovely headpiece on her, and I have just added the tiny little heart little flap back there, if you can see it, just onto the headband, just to make the kind of picture, I suppose, come alive, really just stand out a small bit. Then oops a daisy, over on the other side, I have made a tiny little stick pin, and on the front here it's got a big huge bling piece, and that was in my altered box that I got from Siobhan. So I just thought it gave it a bit of razzadazz kind of on it, so I thought that was super pretty. Up the top I have one of Jer's beautiful embroidered butterflies that she does, and then down the centre of the butterfly I've put tiny little pearls, and up at either side I've just put an arrangement of these lilac and purple little flowers. I hope you can see them there. And then going around the picture I've used this tiny flower trim, really really tiny flower trim, and it's exactly the same kind of purple, so it works all perfectly together. And yeah, and of course, yeah, I have this lilac lace then, so this was a really really wide lace, and it's kind of does a good bit of stretch in it, so I brought it around the front, around the edges, and then onto the back. And then I've gone around with this ruffle trim the whole way around, and in the ruffles there is these tiny little sparkles. I know it's going to be hard maybe to pick it up there on camera, but it's all kind of sparkly, tiny tiny little sparkles in it. So that is my wall hanging, and of course I've got my hanger on the top, which of course is in purple as well, for the lovely Jane. And that is the back, so you can see there how I brought the fabric around the front, around the edges, and then to the back. and my hanger then is attached with two tiny little daisies, obviously to cover up the kind of usual kind of workings. So that is my wall hanging. So I hope the lovely Jane will love that. I'm really happy with it. I think it's super pretty, and as I say, purplicious, just for Jane. It had to be done. The purple had to be cracked out on this occasion and used, and I think actually it works so well together. I think it's so pretty, and yeah, I hope all of you like watching my little project share. So that's my wall hanging. And as I was saying about Jane and her butterflies, so she was asking for people to just make a butterfly, and it could be out of fabric, paper, mixed media. You could basically do whatever you liked as long as it was a butterfly to decorate her craft room. So I have just made one at the moment, but I'm going to make another one because I've another few bits and pieces I want to put in with Jane's parcel as well. And this is my butterfly for the lovely Jane. So what I've done is this is actually a lace butterfly, and Tammy sent me a load of these. She sent me absolutely loads of these in a swap that we did back a few months ago, and I just thought it was a perfect size and a perfect shape. So what I did was I backed it with felt, and then what I did was I backed the felt again with paper, with a pretty paper, so it's nice and durable and you know, fine and stiff, so it should last a good while, Jane, in your craft room. And then what I've done is I have just put all tiny little pearls. They're all over the wings. I know they're probably hard to see because they're almost blending in with the colour of the butterfly and the felt. And then of course up the top and down at the bottom I put in some purple bigger pearls just to finish it off. And then on the background I have used a pretty little paper that's in pinks. It's a very vintage one and it's actually textured. It's a lovely paper. I believe I think it could be I think that is from Trimcraft. If it's not Trimcraft, I think it's American Crafts. It's one or the other. And it's got these tiny little hearts in it, and then in each one of the hearts are little roses. So I thought that was super cute to put on the back. So that is my little butterfly for Jane, and as I say, I'll be making another one of those in a different kind of style, and that will be my entry for her challenge. And this, just to give you another quick look, is my wall hanging, and I've another few bits and pieces. I'm almost finished, almost done, and I'm going to pop those in for Jane as well. So I hope you enjoyed watching my little project share. Thanks everyone for watching and for leaving your lovely comments. I really appreciate it, and of course for subscribing. Yeah, I'll be back to you soon. I have another video that I'm going to do straight after this one, and it is of some fabric pieces that I picked up over the weekend, and so I'm going to do a little video to show you what I've found. So I'll talk to you in a bit.